Welcome back to Unboxing OD. I'm your host, Kenneth Pearson, co-founder and OD consultant at Pearson & Pearson LLC and founder of Live a Haiku Life. Today, we're diving into a topic that sits at the very core of organizational success, the intersection of culture and strategy. Now, you've probably heard the phrase, culture eats strategy for breakfast. It's catchy, isn't it? It paints this image of culture as the untamed beast of the organizational world, devouring well-laid plans with a single bite. But here's the thing. It's not about one outshining the other. Culture and strategy aren't adversaries. They're partners. When they work together, they don't just create results. They create results that feel authentic, sustainable, and deeply rooted in what the organization stands for. So here's a question for you. Is your organization's culture helping or hindering its strategy? If that question makes you pause, don't worry. That's exactly why we're here today. Whether you're an OD professional, a leader, or someone just curious about how organizations work, this episode will guide you through understanding, aligning, and leveraging culture and strategy to create something truly impactful. To understand why culture and strategy need to be aligned, let's start with the basics. Strategy is your organization's roadmap. It's the what and the how of achieving your goals. Culture, on the other hand, is the environment in which that roadmap is executed. It's the why we do things the way we do. Here's an example to bring this to life. Imagine a company that's built its strategy around being the most innovative in its industry. The leadership team rolls out bold initiatives, invests in cutting-edge technology, and encourages risk-taking on paper. But in practice, the culture punishes failure, discourages open dialogue, and clings tightly to hierarchy. So what happens? Innovation stagnates because the culture directly undermines the strategy. The truth is, strategy may set the direction, but culture determines whether you can actually get there. They're like the heart and mind of an organization. Each is essential, but they need to be in sync to function effectively. Let's zoom in on culture for a moment because it's often misunderstood. Culture isn't just about perks, ping pong tables, or casual Fridays. It's about the values, norms, and unspoken rules that guide behavior. It's how decisions are made, how conflicts are resolved, and how people feel when they show up to work every day. Think of culture as having two layers. There's the visible layer, things like mission statements, values written on walls, and public celebrations. These are important because they set expectations. But then there's the invisible layer, the norms and behaviors that exist under the surface. This is where the real action happens. For example, a company might claim to value collaboration, but if promotions only go to the most competitive individuals, the real culture isn't about collaboration at all. As OD practitioners, our job is to uncover both layers. Tools like culture assessments, employee surveys, and focus groups can help. But observation, paying attention to how people interact and make decisions, is just as crucial. Culture lives in the details, and it's our role to notice and address them. While culture sets the tone, strategy provides the focus. It's the organization's big picture, the goals, priorities, and actions designed to achieve success. But here's the kicker. Strategy doesn't exist in a vacuum. It needs culture to support it. Let's go back to the example of a company prioritizing innovation. A strategy like that requires a culture that celebrates experimentation, embraces failure as part of learning, and encourages diverse perspectives. Without those cultural elements, the strategy will struggle to take off. What's fascinating is that strategy can also shape culture. For example, if a company wants to shift its focus to customer centricity, the strategy might include training programs, new feedback loops, and reward systems for customer-focused behaviors. Over time, these initiatives begin to influence the culture, embedding customer centricity into the organization's DNA. This interplay between culture and strategy is where OD professionals can have a transformative impact. By aligning the two, we create a foundation where goals and behaviors reinforce each other, leading to sustainable success. Now that we've explored the relationship between culture and strategy, let's talk about how to align them. Alignment isn't a one-time task. It's an ongoing process that requires intention, communication, and commitment. The first step is clarity. Leaders need to define both the strategy and the desired culture in actionable terms. Saying we value innovation is a start, but it's not enough. What does innovation look like day to day? How should employees embody this value in their work? Specificity is key. Next is integration. Culture and strategy must be reflected in systems, processes, and behaviors. If collaboration is a cultural priority, it should influence everything from how teams are structured to how performance is measured. This alignment ensures that the culture isn't just aspirational, it's operational. Communication is another critical piece. Employees need to see the connection between culture and strategy in a way that resonates with them. This is where storytelling becomes powerful. Sharing real examples of how culture supports strategy, like a team's innovative solution to a problem, makes the alignment tangible and relatable. Finally, involve your people. Culture isn't something leaders dictate from the top. It's co-created by everyone in the organization. Engaging employees in conversations about values, behaviors, and goals not only builds buy-in, but also enriches the alignment process. Of course, aligning culture and strategy comes with challenges. Resistance to change, misaligned leadership, and the tendency to revert to old habits are common obstacles. One way to overcome these challenges is by starting with leadership. Leaders set the tone for both culture and strategy, so their alignment is non-negotiable. Coaching, training, and alignment workshops can help get everyone on the same page. Another best practice is to focus on quick wins. While long-term alignment is the goal, small, visible successes along the way build momentum and credibility. For example, recognizing and celebrating behaviors that align with cultural values can reinforce the connection between culture and strategy. And remember, alignment isn't static. Organizations evolve, and so do their strategies and cultures. Regular assessments and check-ins ensure that alignment remains strong over time. As we wrap up, let's reflect on what we've covered. Aligning culture and strategy isn't just a theoretical exercise. It's a practical, impactful way to create an organization that's both focused and cohesive. Ask yourself, are your culture and strategy truly aligned? What steps can you take to better connect these two vital forces in your organization? And how can you, as an OD practitioner, help bridge any gaps? Thank you for joining me for this episode of Unboxing OD. I hope today's conversation has sparked new ideas and insights about the powerful intersection of culture and strategy. In our next episode, we'll dive into the role of leadership in OD and explore how leaders can drive meaningful change without burning out their teams or themselves. I'd love to keep this conversation going. Connect with me on LinkedIn to share your thoughts, ask questions, or suggest future topics. Your ideas could inspire what we explore next. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and take care of your organization and the people who make it thrive.